In this case, I have the B525 Composite, Browning's biggest release in 2024. It's not the first time Browning have played with Composite, of course. We'll remember the Synergy Black Ice, which was really cutting edge back in the day 20 years ago. However, they learnt from the mistakes and what the market thought of that. I just think it's a nice gun. Let's take a look. The gun comes in a black Browning case, pretty unexotic but better than a cardboard box, and when you open it up you see you have a stock tool, a manual, a trigger lock, a box with 3 spare chokes and a choke key in it, and of course, a gun. The first thing you notice when you pick it up is that the plastic feels robust. It's got a nicer texture to it, one that should last a little longer, and it has rubber overmolded grips, which just give it a much nicer feel. It's an ambidextrous gun, so I believe the stock out the box is dead straight. Yeah, it's completely straight, which shouldn't be too much of a problem for most people. Might be nice to have a right and left-handed version, but I guess in reality it's only the left-handers that would lose out there because they're not going to invest all the money in making the mouldings for this for the left-handed market. And that's okay for me, but it's not for about 10% of shooters, apparently. What it does have is an adjustable comb, and we'll get into that in a minute. For now, let's clip it together and look from one end to the other. At first I thought this was marketed as a game gun, but actually looking at their website, it is sort of marketed as a bit of everything, as an all-rounder, which I think it is the best place to put it in, to be honest. Starting at the back, you have a Browning Inflex 2, that's an interchangeable pad system, which is obviously kind of handy given that I would have thought lengthening this in a more conventional manner would be a little harder than wood. Shortening it, well, we'll have a look in a minute. We'll pop that pad off when we have a look at the balancing weights and go from there. It is balancing weight ready. It doesn't come with any in the box, and we'll talk about that in a minute. At the back of the stock, you'll see there's a little hole. That is for the adjustable comb, which again comes with the correct Allen key to undo that. We will set that up at the end because I'm going to go and shoot this after we're done filming. You have a little angled cut into the stock. I kind of like the lines of this stock. They're straight, it's slim, it doesn't need to be conventionally sized, but it does lend itself to looking somewhat traditional. What's nice is that grip comes right down, so you end up with quite a sizable grip, which has a ambidextrous palm swell. Palm swell might be the wrong sort of word for it, but it is nicely shaped. It's an ergonomic grip that fills the hand nicely, whether you are left-handed or right-handed. And again, because it's plastic, you actually can get away with a little less meat there than you would on a wooden gun. And part of the marketing for this gun is they say it's just going to last forever, which it should. I think they get angry if I did a destruction test on it, and yet I still want to. You have a little Browning logo inlet there. It's a nice touch. It's full of nice touches. I kind of like the little line that runs around there. Again, it is pleasing to the eye. It's kind of modern. It's more detailed than it could be. Certainly with Turkish guns coming to market, with synthetic guns and all sorts of things, these top-end makers, the premium guys, Browning Beretta, have upped their game and are really putting in the extra effort, going the extra mile to make their guns more appealing, better quality, and that's good. Definitely, that's good. As said, you have an adjustable comb that's done in a slightly different plastic, and generally, it is hollow, but it feels not so bad. It doesn't make too many horrible noises when you touch it. Moving on to the action, you have a fully adjustable gold trigger. Again, you have an Allen key there to move that back and forth to preset adjustable conditions. The trigger guard has a gold buck mark on it, and then you see these little shapes. Trying to decide what we're going to call those. I'm going to Google it. The official name is a 3-point star, which is also known as a convex hexagon. Interestingly, it falls with 4-point stars as something called an isotoxal star, and the 3-point star regularly relates to Christianity for the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You have the B525 on the side. I kind of like the line. We generally call it the 525, but I also know my American friends all call it the 525. So I'm guessing that's an indicator that they're right and we're wrong. It's deeply engraved with a raised Browning there. I kind of like the texture. I really love how this action looks. It's basic, it's simple, it's not going to cost them a fortune to make, and the gradient is pleasing. Well, this took some effort to make a good looking gun. It's hard to make modern looking guns that look good. This is one, especially with some engraving coverage. Most people just opt for nothing. It comes manual safety, but You have an autosave in the box if you did want to use this for game shooting, duck shooting, and honestly, if you want to shoot an over and under on the marsh, I'd say this plastic one is a good option. In fact, anywhere where the weather is bad, so England. It's a great gun for England, generally speaking. Top lever, standard top lever that retracts the big underbite that Browning are known for in the 525. And we've looked at 525 actions in the past. We're not going to dwell too much on the mechanism here. It's solid, it's reliable, it comes with a 10-year warranty on the major components. That's nice. I think that's nice. The plastic to metal fit is great, as it should be. Obviously, the benefit of using plastic is it's going to be super consistent, right? Wood to metal fit can vary, and with wood it does shrink over time, so they do leave it proud. Plastic's not going to do that, and as such they can leave it sort of a millimetre proud all the way around, and I think it's a lovely fit. It's a good quality job, as you'd expect. Given that this is £2,030, it's not cheap, but neither is it super expensive. It is attainable, but at £2,000 you still want quality, and they have provided that quality. The rib is non-tapered, medium size. It's not as thin as a game rib. What is that, 8mm non-tapered? A good all-round rib fitted with a squat silver bead sight in the front. I really like the sight picture this provides, and does put it nicely in that could do game, could do clays thing. It'd be interesting to see if anyone takes one of these to the highest level of competitive shooting, because it should be capable, right? It's a £7.11 gun out of the box, and as you'll see, it does need extra weight added, because out of the box, it's very front heavy, which is where I'd love to see those stock weights come in the box with it. Stock weights, I believe, are another £75, or you can make your own if you really wanted, but to have the originals would be nice. I reckon once this was balanced a little further back, maybe just in front of the hinge, something like that, in a 32-inch model. I don't know if they're making a 32-inch model. I hope they are. I reckon it could be an absolute machine for clays. You never know, right? We can find out when we get some balancing weights. As it is, we're going to go and shoot it without and see how we get on. I'd have to get another 525 to compare, but I swear this forend is longer than a standard forend. It's definitely longer than a standard forend. I've shot a lot of Brownings. This is a little further forward. I really like the rounded profile of it. It's just as deep as a standard Browning forend with that release latch at the bottom. The rubber overmolding is nice. It's a little tacky right now, but I'm guessing you kind of want it to be, given that I'm in a nice warm place, and this stickiness will come in handy when it starts raining because you don't have checkering. The barrels are blued overboard to 18.7, which puts them up there with some of the best Browning barrels Browning make. The whole gun is made in Japan by Maruku to the same high standard as every gun that comes out of that factory. These guns are very hand finished inside. The barrels are fitted to the action with traditional methods, as is the forend. It's a very hand-finished gun, and I kind of like the way they feel. They come with a lot of soul for that. Brownings often come with a sticky top lever when they're new because of the size of the bite and the strength it provides. It's a lot of surface area, and it can sort of stick together when you have to do that. This one doesn't. Nothing you can take away from that other than it puts a smile on my face. It comes with Invector Plus chokes, 2 in the gun, 3 in the case, all internal. But I think this would look epic with some extended teagues with the porting in. I think that would just suit how badass this looks. You have a big Browning logo on the bottom, Browning logos inlaid on those rubber overmoldings, and on the bottom you have JMB's signature and the location of Browning's Belgian headquarters. It's a nice thing. I like the nice touches. You might not need them, but it could have been a very plain gun, and as I've said, these guys are taking the extra steps to provide you something that is just a little extra. The Browning sticker is extra, but that can come off. I think this is quite nice, you know. In a 30-inch gun, £7.11, it's all right. Like I said, I'm hankering for a 32-inch model with the balancing weights, but I don't have one. Let's get this adjustable comb set up for me, and let's go and shoot it. Browning's adjustable combs are done through that hole in the back. As I said, it comes with the Allen key. You put it in, they are set very tight, and then you adjust the comb. Unlike the Synergy that only went up and down, and you had to use different combs to get different comb width, this particular bad boy goes up, down, left and right. So hopefully, there we go, up, down, and then it should go left and right as well. There we go, it's just new. It's a nice system. It's the same as their others. It's the only time now you know this stock is hollow, when you move it and it makes funny old noises. Let's see how that looks about there. The beauty is when we take it out, I'll take the Allen key and we'll go for it. It's a very clever system that Browning use. I do prefer the two in the side, but this is a lot quicker, I guess, to get it on one tool. And I'm also thinking that it'd be really hard to have those locking nuts engineered into here. A little high, not bad. Take that down 2 clicks and I think we'll be good to go. So it's got 40mm and 60mm of drop out of the box. What that means to you will depend on how much you care about gun fit and know your measurements. The bottom line is you can make it longer and you can play with the face, and that's enough. You can feel how straight that stock is. I can feel it tight in my shoulder, which is kind of weird, being used to guns with a bit of cast. But hey, what was that? 35 seconds and we're gonna go blow stuff up. Guys, looks wise, I think they've hit the nail on the head. You don't have to like it to appreciate it. Most of us will prefer lots of engraving in grade 5 wood. But for a practical gun, a little bit more modern, it does bits. But before we go and shoot it, let's just pop that pad off and have a look at the balancing weight system and just see what's inside, because morbid curiosity wants to know what's inside this plastic stock. The forearm, when you take it off, crikey, I am losing my mind, is fairly thick plastic, which is nice. It adds a bit of weight. It's nice, it's not flimsy, but it is hollow, obviously, because solid plastic of this size would be way heavier than walnut. We pop that there, quick squirt. They're going a long way. A very long way. No, not out yet. They are really long screws. No, that's not out yet. All right, ooh, let's have a look. We have a stock bolt down the end. It is, with that pad off, a little more flexible, but again, it's good quality plastic. It's nice and thick. I would have thought they've done a fair amount of research in the last 20 years to provide us with a better one than the Synergy. Not that that was bad. And then I guess the stock weight system clips into the bottom there. It's not got that same drop hole as the 725 weighting system. I guess we're going to have to get one ordered and find out. But as try as I might, I could not find the right thing. Looking at it, I guess you have this retaining piece here. That comes out, for it says out on this plastic piece. There's a screw. That will pop out, and a weighting system will slot down into the hole underneath. This will pull it tight. Clever system. I would just love one to come in the box with the gun. I think most people buying this would be happy to spend the extra 50 or 60 pounds retail it would cost. Or at least I would. Let's throw that back on and spend half an hour screwing it in. See you at the shooting ground. This is not the first time I've shot this gun. In fact, this is the second time I'm out. The first time I shot it, I hated it. So we're here now with a few modifications to see if it works. The other week I took this out to shoot with no balancing weights, no adjustment, and I found it quite difficult to shoot. Obviously, being a plastic stock, it is quite front heavy, and I found it just hard work, honestly. So I emailed Browning and said, hey, before I do give this a review, I'd love it if you could send down a couple of spacers and the balancing kit. They did. I fitted it. And now we're here at Barbary to see if that makes a difference. I'm a little nervous, to be honest. I wanted to love this gun. Let's see if we do. Let's go. I'm nervous. I really want this to have worked. A-bird, left to right, cross and midi. Well, turns out adding 165 grams to the back of this gun, as well as just shy of an inch of length, really turns it into something worthwhile. That gun moves. And I thought, just on the balance, that it would be a little front heavy, but it's really lively as you like now, almost to the point of I might take 20 grams out. I like that, that's different. It is quite a lightweight gun and you do feel the recoil impulse, but these are a 1500 feet per second cartridge. They definitely aren't shy on recoil, not that they're particularly kicky, but you do have to remember that this is designed or marketed as a game gun, although I do still think that it's more of a universal thing. It's clearly adequate of smashing some clays. Right, I'm happy with that. Missed two of those incoming loopers, But that's a pretty tasty target for a gun I've never shot before. It might as well be a gun I've never shot before. I'm smiling, and that is way better than last time. Stand 6, right to left crosser, left to right batu. That last stand might have been a bit tasty to start with, but hey, we're a nothing if not ambitious. Tell you what, that is a huge improvement. This gun now shoots so naturally. Before I was having to put a lot of work in. Now it starts and stops when you ask it to. It's movable and kind of got that vibe around it that you can, it saves you bacon a little bit. It's fast enough that you can just punch it into little gaps when you've messed up the move, which certainly suits me in this kind of scenario. Bang, bang. All right, A bird off the arm, B bird next. I like it. I really like it. I was bemoaning this gun last time as something I found very unnatural, and just by putting weights in the back, it became really natural. It's a fascinating thing there. And as much as a gun knowledge thing, to think that this gun, just with a different balance, becomes a very different thing. And gun balance is obviously personal preference. Some people prefer it fore, some prefer it aft. That neutral balance that the full weight set gives this, I can live with that. Just ever so slightly in front of the hinge, just under 1/4 of an inch. All right, it's been redeemed. Let's go shoot something else. Stand 7 looks like it's still set up from FitAsk, so I presume we're gonna have a few machines here. This will be the final test we give this gun. Let's give it a whirl. Shoot the singles and then shoot the pairs. Feels good, I love that grip. Oh, that's something I really like. Feels the hand nicely, slim enough, the forend as well. And that tackiness is perfect for a day like today. And I expect in the wet it'll be great too, or when you're sweaty. A bird, looks like it's coming from over there. Let's shoot it. We're gonna shoot this from the hoop because, well, we're allowed, so it'll make it a little bit more reasonable. That B bird's quite tasty. Big right to left crosser. Let's shoot it.
Rocking these rings, all leather, no shame. We'll be in the backseat, I'm flossy and flashy, so bring the champagne. Tattoos, perfume, got me feeling so damn cute, no blues, yeah, I'm feeling so high, about to elevate that sky.
One shell left of 75. I can genuinely now put my happiness and recommendation behind this gun. I've shot it well on this FitAsk layout. It's not too easy, it's not too hard. It's there for the losing for sure. Yeah, I mean, what a versatile gun with a bit of weight in the back. I do worry, I think as I said in the studio piece, that people just buy this and go and shoot it, and that's not how this gun is supposed to be. This gun was designed to have those weights fitted in the back. Maybe not the full set of weights, but I really don't mind it with. That is a nice thing. The stock spec is nice. It would have been nice to see it properly right-handed as a right-hander, or just the ability to have an adjustable pad at the back, because it does sit a bit straight in the shoulder. But I suppose that's going to benefit a lot of people who want a gun that's ambidextrous, meaning left-handers. Oof. All right, last shell. What are we going to shoot, Owen?
Do the rabbit again.
Do the rabbit again. I mean, it's a bit easy, isn't it?
Shoot it quick.
Quick as we can with one shell. All right, let's go. Yeah, I wish I had a few more. I hesitated and had to chase it. I reckon we could break that a yard closer to that arm. But my head going through my head as I'm aiming at the toe hitch that it's going to pass, and that's where I want to shoot it as soon as I see the arm clock. But I'll take it. Any gun you can shoot that fast with, I mean, I couldn't even hit the bin with a shell. Any gun you can shoot that fast and instinctively is great, but then still go and shoot the big stuff. This is a great all-rounder. But just beware, you might want the balancing weights. Browning have done a good thing. I mean, they've done a lot of good things, but this is a good thing. My only complaint is that I'd prefer it to have a little right-hand cast in the shoulder, or just have some adjustability there, because it does sit a little too far inside my breast. But hey, no breast puns today. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Brownie for sending this down for us to have a proper look through. I'm a fan. Big thumbs up. Take care, guys. Hey, kind of want to shoot it a bit more now, Owen. Thank you for watching, guys. This channel is made possible by our amazing sponsors. You can find out more about them in the description down below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You get loads of extra content, well, some extra content, and occasionally we hook up and go clay shooting together as a membership group. If you don't feel like joining today, we really appreciate you watching and subscribing. Have a wonderful day.